Hello, I'm going to talk to you today about the reigning NBA champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and how they actually work as a functioning system, and how they were actually successful as a system since they won the NBA Finals last year. So let's start by defining the system. So we're going to start with the classification and the structure of the Cavaliers. So the Cavaliers are a living and physical system because you can see them in action and function. The Cavs are also an open system because the organization interacts with other systems such as other NBA teams, the Quicken Loans Arena, which is where the Cavaliers play, and television and radio broadcasters. So now we're going to talk about the visibility of the Cavaliers. So the Cavs are a white box for some, a gray box for most, and I guess you could consider them a black box for people who don't understand anything about basketball. So the typical casual fan would see the Cavs as a gray box system because they understand how the game of basketball works. They don't know about all the intricacies of the game and what it is like to be on a professional sports team. Other NBA or high-level basketball players, heavy followers of the game, and sports analysis could all potentially see the Cavs as a white box because they know exactly what kind of environment the locker room is like, and they are aware of what goes on behind the scenes of an NBA team. So this is the structural organization of the Cavs system. So the inputs could be new players, style of play, execution, and communication. So basically anything that can be attributed to the team is what is inputted into the system. The system is the Cavaliers, and it acts as a functioning system, and its purpose is to produce an output of performance while playing games, and really ultimately either if they win games or lose games. The external feedback is based on if they're winning or losing, and they will receive different external feedbacks based upon winning or losing. The media, fans, and sports analysis are not within the system, and they will praise the team and talk about what they're doing right. And if the team loses, they will talk about what the team should have done better, which goes back to the inputs. Some internal feedback would be if the team the team receiving feedback from coaches or other players, and they would talk about what they should have done better and what the adjustments they need to make so that they can continue to get better and perform better. Okay, so this is a spatial arrangement for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It starts with the NBA being the meta system, which the Cavaliers are a part of. The system, Cavaliers, and then the lateral systems would be other NBA teams, such as the Golden State Warriors. And then the subsystems within the system that is the Cavaliers are players and coaches. And then the elements that the players could potentially have are they're good defenders, they shoot the ball well, or that they are clutch performers. This is the systemogram for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The three main nodes that branch off the Cavaliers organization are the coaching staff, the front office, and the players. The main activities that the front office does are sign and pay the coaches and also the players. The coaching staff has three main functions. They coach the players, they run practice, and they coach during the games. The players are the heart of the Cavaliers organization, and they play the games, obviously. They practice to improve on both offense and defense so that they can eventually win games by scoring and stopping the other team from scoring. During practice, they focus on communication and execution. If the players are successful, they win games, they will win the games, and in return, if they win enough games, they will make it to the playoffs and eventually the finals, and then win the NBA Finals, which is exactly what they ended up doing, which ultimately pleases the fans who are entertained by the players and who watch the games. So now we're going to talk about evolution. A good way to define evolution in the system is it's not going to wait for us to finish what we are doing. And basically for the Cavaliers, that looks like the team isn't really going to remain exactly the way we want it. It's never going to be 100%. There's going to be players who get injured, and then players are also going to age and they're going to retire, and then we're also going to draft new NBA players. So now we're going to talk about the 6 steps to the system life cycle. The first step is establish a system need. So for the Cavaliers, this is a basketball team that is capable of winning the NBA Finals for the city of Cleveland. The risk is technical, and if the Cavs do not make a capable team, it's hard, and this is very likely because it's hard to get a team to win the finals because there are so many good teams. And stakeholders are the fans. They want to see a winning team, and they'd be disappointed if the Cavs. The next step is develop the system concept. So the coaches for the Cavs, the coaches and the general manager envision what kind of team and play style they want to incorporate for the team. The risk here is programmatic because the coaches and GM have a decision on how they want to run the team. If they make a wrong decision, the system could fail. And stakeholders are the coaches and the GM because if they make the wrong decision, they could be fired by the owner of the team. Step 3, design and develop the system. So during the offseason, new players are acquired. And for the Cavs, they signed Mo Williams and Richard Jefferson in the offseason. And the coaches also begin molding the teams and the style of play during the preseason games. The risk here is cost. So in order to have good players, you need to pay for them. And with the NBA having a salary cap, the team could run out of money to pay for better players. And ultimately, the team might not be as good. So stakeholders are the players. Some may need to take less pay, and some will even get traded because in order to pay for better players joining the team. So step 4 is produce the system. For the Cavs, the team roster is made going into the season, and the team is ready to begin the NBA season. Even though this sounds easy, it's not really easy because there's a high risk in the schedule. There's a little time to get a team in shape and ready to compete during the regular season. And the stakeholders here are the fans. They want the team to perform well during the regular season. If they don't, they'll be disappointed. So step 5 is operate the system. This is the regular season for the Cavaliers. They went 57-25 in the regular season. And during the regular season, modifications to the system are also made. So Tristan Thompson joined the starting lineup halfway through the regular season. David Blatt was fired, and Tyronn Lue became the head coach. And also, the Cavs acquired Channing Frye right before the trade deadline. So, if the Cavaliers are successful during the regular season and win enough games, they'll get to the playoffs. And if they receive even more success during the playoffs, they can make it to the finals and then potentially win the finals, which is exactly what the Cavs ended up doing. Risks here are technical. There's fundamental problems with the team, how the team plays. The system will not be achieved, and the team will not win. And stakeholders, the coach, it's the coach's job to make sure that there's no fundamental problems with the team, that the team plays at its highest level, so he's at risk of being fired. So the last step of the system life cycle is retire the system. For the Cavs, the season ends and the organization begins to prepare for another team for the upcoming season. The risk here is programmatic. Really, at the end of the season, it's the front office and coaches have the decision of what they want to establish for the next season and how they want to create the next team. And stakeholders here are everyone in the system. Everyone wants to see the team do well, and if they fail in the early stages of creating this new team for the next season, the team has a high chance of failing, and no one who's a part of the system, including the fans, players, coaches, wants to see that happen. So the last topic I'm going to talk about is innovation, and the biggest innovation made to the Cavaliers was Coach Tyronn Lue becoming the head coach halfway through the season, and he pretty much changed the Cavaliers' style of play. And his goal was to make the offensive faster, for the team to become more aggressive in general, and to push the ball in transition, and then kick the ball out to shooters. And he was able to get this done. This is especially important in this era of basketball, where many teams are using smaller players to move the ball faster. So Coach Lue helped the Cavs keep up with the competition, and the results can show, obviously, since the Cavs won the NBA Finals. This concludes my video on the Cleveland Cavaliers as a system. Thank you.
This city is my city, and I love it. Yeah, I love it.